One of my many guests. She's sexy, she's sweet, she's curvaceous, and you can catch her then on her reality show. She's got a beautiful behind that people talk about.
$8.4 million worth of cocaine found in a SKIMS truck. What the hell? Girl!
And now you look at them demonic-like, and everybody's life seems to be falling apart. Let's go down the line.
A British truck driver was just sentenced to 13 and a half years in prison after he smuggled a $9.4 million worth of cocaine in a truck full of SKIMS apparel. If you don't know SKIMS, that's Kim Kardashian's underwear and clothing brand. SKIMS says they had no connection to the crime.
The truth behind Griselda Blanco. Oh, I meant Kim Kardashian and her momager Kris Jenner's shady church is finally out, and Wendy Williams is at the center of it all. If you've been keeping up with Kim, then you've probably heard something about this church. And now that her SKIMS business is under investigation for allegedly being linked to the transportation of nose candy across borders, the authorities are also looking into their infamous church. Apparently, they've been using it to evade paying millions of dollars in taxes every year. And even after the IRS slapped the church with multiple lawsuits, they just changed the name and continued working. In fact, word on the street is they went even harder with their operations and are now allegedly using the church to wash money for cartels all over the country. Ray J clearly wasn't playing when he said he was working with the FBI to build a RICO case against Kim. And baby, Wendy Williams has a lot of receipts about it that she's also leaking to the feds. Okay, so in case you're somehow out of the loop about the shady church that Kim and her mama have been running, it all goes back to 2008, when Kris founded her own church called the California Community Church. According to reports, the church brands itself as a non-profit charity organization, but still requires members to pay $1,000 a month to continue being a member. You cannot make this up. If it's really an NGO, then why are you collecting $1,000 from anyone who wants to join and remain a member? Right from the jump, you can already tell this so-called church wasn't set up for Jesus. Anyway, it also turns out that aside from the $1,000 monthly payments, the members are also supposed to donate an additional 10% of their income to the church as tithe. Apparently, this is just a way for all the Kardashian/Jenner sisters, as well as a bunch of other celebrities who are also members, to get a tax write-off. When Kim and her sisters pay these so-called tithes, it goes right back to the family since Kris owns the church. However, they still get a tax write-off since the donations are seen by the state as a charity to an NGO. This is some next-level criminal activity. It got so bad that in 2012, the church, which was then going by the name Life Change Community Church, was hit with a tax lien for $1,601 in unpaid taxes, covering October 2010 to June 2011. A few days later, they got hit with a second filing for $2,293 in delinquent taxes, including interest and penalties. And to make matters even worse, Kris appointed a shady pastor called Brad Johnson to lead the church. If you are a fan of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, then you probably know him. He is a family friend and was also the same man who officiated Khloe and Lamar's wedding. But as I said, this man is shady as hell too. It turns out that prior to joining Kim and Kris to run this supposed church, he was forced to step down from his previous job as a pastor in one of the largest churches in Ventura County after he was caught having an extramarital affair. Apparently, he even tried to take his life after this, but Kris found him right on time to make him the leader of her church. But here's where things get crazier. So Lou Taylor, the owner of the popular Hollywood management company TriStar, and the woman that has been accused by Britney Spears of setting up her conservatorship, is also listed as a board member of this church. And guess who Lou has been confirmed to be managing as well? Diddy. So word on the street is that back when Diddy's trial was ongoing and the feds were looking for witnesses to testify against him, Lou was allegedly working with Kim and her mama to pay off the victims in the form of charity donations from the church. Now, there is no way to confirm for sure if this is really what Lou was getting up to with Kim, but a lot of people believe the allegations, especially since Lou has a very bad reputation for getting her hands dirty for the shadiest people, and even stealing from some of the vulnerable artists she manages. Let's take Britney, for example. During her trial to get out of her conservatorship, it was revealed that a month before her father, Jamie Spears, filed to have her placed under a conservatorship, Lou's company TriStar Sports and Entertainment agreement gave him a personal loan of at least $40,000. After the conservatorship was approved, Jamie hired TriStar to run Britney's estate. Court filings revealed a January 2008 email from Lou Taylor to Jamie Spears, just 2 weeks before he applied for the conservatorship, where she explicitly writes that Andrew Wallet, he and TriStar will serve as co's with you, meaning co-conservators. That email debunked TriStar's claim that they had nothing to do with setting up the conservatorship, because clearly they did. In another email, Lou was also caught pushing to have Britney's brother Brian Spears replaced with her as Britney's trustee. She said, and I quote, "I have fought for Jamie for 3 years, prayed and fasted with him every week, and life has changed drastically because of this determination. I am asking that you do that now. I am the right person for this." The documents also stated that Jamie Spears received over $6 million from Britney's estate over 13 years, while TriStar received over $18 million from the same estate. And then there was Justin Bieber, who TriStar was also managing until he fired Lou for allegedly stealing his money. This is the kind of person Kim and Kris have as a board member in their church, y'all. It doesn't get more demonic than this. If that doesn't give you a hint about the dirty activities they supposedly have going on in that church, then I don't know what will. Now, most of this mess had already been going around for a while, but the reason it got brought back again is that Kim's underwear brand SKIMS was recently involved in a substance smuggling operation, and word is that the whole church thing is actually just the tip of the supposed illegal businesses they run. Apparently, they are out here moving weight for multiple cartels all over the world, and their businesses are just covered to help wash up all that dirty money they're making.
They found $8.4 million of coke on a SKIMS truck in the UK. Look at all these like SKIMS labels and everything with police evidence. First and foremost, the SKIMS shipment was legitimate, and so they were not involved in any way in this, but this story is absolutely bonkers and wild. A truckload of SKIMS clothing meant for routine delivery was instead used as part of a multi-million-dollar skiing attempt that authorities in the UK say was uncovered at a port inspection. A Polish truck driver has been sentenced to more than 13 years in prison after being convicted of smuggling.
These allegations started after a truck driver named Jakub Jan Kunkel was sentenced for transporting nose candy hidden inside a shipment of SKIMS clothing. He initially denied knowing about the substance, but later pleaded guilty, admitting he agreed to transport the drugs in exchange for 4,500 euros, which is roughly $5,200. So he risked 13 plus years for about $5 grand. SKIMS issued a statement saying, "SKIMS had no knowledge whatsoever about this criminal activity. We had no connection to the smuggling operation, the driver, or the truck. But as I said, people have their doubts. Mind you, this isn't the first time Kim has been caught up in something relating to hard substances. Multiple posts of a clip from a 2018 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians went viral, in which Kim openly admitted to being a raging substance junkie.
I got married on ecstasy. I had no idea. No, the first time. I did ecstasy once and I got married. I did it again. I made a tape, like everything bad would happen.
You were high on ecstasy when you had that tape?
Absolutely. Everyone knows it. Like my jaw was shaking. So I went to a women's prison, CIW, and I sat in a room like this. And this one girl was like, my boyfriend had me go get or pick something up at this apartment, and I didn't know that like some shit was gonna go down and someone died, and like these crazy stories. And I thought to myself, oh my God, one time my friend had me go pick up like ecstasy at this apartment. And like, what if something happened? And I was like, I literally thought that.
She said she was so hooked on it that even when she got married. And then there was the 2017 Snapchat incident. A white powder was visible in a Snapchat video that people still believe to this day was C. Kane. Then there was the entire Paris robbery scandal, which something was just insurance fraud. Even Kanye West thinks that too. Now guess who tried to warn us about all this way before it happened? Wendy Williams. If you were a loyal Wendy fan back in the day, then you already know she never liked Kim. She was always quick to report on everything negative about her, and even though at the time it seemed like she was just being messy, it all makes sense now. Word on the street is that Wendy knew about the shady church because they reached out to her too to be a member, but she denied because she knew what was up. Instead, she put all her money into dragging her as much as she could, and baby, she definitely did. Back in 2016, Wendy suggested Kim was faking her pregnancy with son Saint West.
She's not the type, I'm trying to play devil's advocate. She's not the type to want more than one because of how it turns your body out and because her body is her fortune. She seems like the type to want to keep it intact. And being that she didn't have a beautiful experience being pregnant with North, I could see her. Ladies might be able to get pregnant, but she's using that woman's trickery that you know what I mean? And so now it's down to, allegedly, is she really pregnant or do they have a surrogate? Well, only time will tell. Good luck.
Wendy also dragged Kim through hell back in 2018 when Kim did a nude photo shoot. Wendy went in on her, saying that she was only doing this to get Kanye's attention because he was out cheating with other women instead of staying loyal to him. Mind you, the whole reason Kim got famous in the first place is because of her tape with Ray J. So the fact that she was still doing things like that years in her career was very off-putting to a lot of people, including Wendy. Kim, it's clear Kanye has nothing for you except dribble and evil conversation. It is clear that Kanye does not pay attention to you. It's clear to me that you're desperately trying to stay in the spotlight.
Full nipple, fully shaven vajayjay. I mean, like nothing on. This is not even artistic, it's just, ta-da! Came to light by doing a tape. I thought that she was working hard to remove herself from how we originally found her. You know, be up, face down with Ray J. But in fact, what she's now done is she's all reminded us that she has slorish ways and that she is a cheap $3 bill.
Baby, Wendy clearly knew way too much for a TV host, and these celebrities didn't like that at all. It also didn't help that she was known for gossiping and telling all their business. People even believe this might be part of why the industry decided to shut her up by throwing her into a facility and keeping her in a conservatorship. One person said, "So now we know about how she's making money." Another person said, "That's how they make that on their planes. Why do they have several? Kanye was right. He said they were trafficking kids." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Wendy Williams exposing the truth behind the Kardashian church? And do you really think it's really a front for all the illegal things that are being alleged? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.